This channel is supported by my online fishing courses, including my brand new bucktailing and blackfish jigging course. And the course covers fishing for a variety of species from surf, kayak, and boat. You can learn more and get significant discounts at saltstrong.com/Skinner. I've always said that bucktails will catch any fish that will strike an artificial. This trip is a great example of that. 10 species, not using any bait or anything, all bucktails. So the background on this trip is quite a bit of wind. I'm actually hiding from it, staying close to the shoreline. It's kind of cool, 67-degree water, which is cold for Florida. And I'm now currently in about 3 feet of water. This wind has blown a lot of the water out. I'm trying to get into a creek. I'm waiting for the water to come up a little bit, and I'm working over some deeper holes. And the first species that's going to come up here is the worst of the species, but we're going to get this one out of the way. Then we're going to catch some real fish and some nice ones at that. Yes, a catfish. Yeah, they're the worst here. Slime, they stink. There's just nothing good to say about them. Okay, we've moved inside the creek. The water's gotten up high enough I can get on the inside. I'm going to tip the bucktails in most cases with a 4-inch gulp grub. That's the 4-inch grub. Now the bucktail that I used out on the flat, and we're going to be back out on those flats catching some other some nice fish out there. Out there I'm using an 1/8 ounce. In here I've got this creek where maximum depth is about 4 feet. I've got water moving left to right, and I'm using a 1/4 ounce bucktail. I'll have links to all of the gear in the video description. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Nice one. Big trout. Like wake fishing. Okay, we're going to get to see the retrieve in a bit. I'll go off that front camera. I'm basically just leading the current a little bit, starting the retrieve as soon as it hits the water, and then a slow retrieve. A 1/4 ounce jig and 4-inch gulp grub. And gonna have some mixed bag fishing here. Yeah, so I'm in southwest Florida near Fort Myers. This is only the second cuda that I've caught down here. I know they have them out on the wrecks and reefs and stuff, but on the inside, yeah, that's only my second one. So, all right, species number 3. Here's a look at that retrieve. As soon as that thing hits the water, boom, engage the reel, keep the rod tip high, because it is shallow. I'm falling into about 2 feet of water and then drops off to about 4 feet. Slow to moderate retrieve, I'd call that, and just keeping that thing swimming along. Now, I mentioned I was using an 1/8 ounce bucktail on the outside where there was very little current, and there's more current. I've got some wind blowing the belly in the line, so I moved up to 1/4. And it might not sound like a big difference going up 1/8 of an ounce, but it's a tremendous difference in the way the bucktail performs. And really, I'm doubling the weight on the bucktail, and I'm also falling into, like I said, 2 feet of water, and it's dropping off, so I'm going to vary the retrieve a little bit as I'm going along to account for that increase in depth. Okay, I'm going to work my way into this creek now. I had caught like one more trout there, and I decided I wanted to see what was farther up the creek. All right, these are S&S bucktails. No matter what bucktail you buy, make sure it's got a good hook in it. So, even though these are down at 1/8 of an ounce, 1/4 of an ounce, they've got really good gamakatsu hooks in them, the right size to handle the trailers, strong enough to handle the fish. Yeah, I had a hand in the design of these. So yeah, like I said, there's a link in the video description. Plenty of good bucktails in the market that you could do this fishing with. All right, a small jack, and I caught several of these, so that's species number 4. I got 6 more to go. Okay, so all I got was jacks coming down the creek. I'm working my way back out, trying to work that mangrove shoreline, hoping for a snook or a redfish. Okay, a ladyfish, definitely not a glamour species, but species number 5. Okay, I'm watching to my left because I'm looking for snook underneath those mangroves, and that's pretty much got my attention to see if there's any under there. I'm really expecting there should be some in this creek. Not seeing them, but keeping my eye open, and going to get interrupted here. Feels like a fluke. I think it's a fluke. It's a fluke. This is my first fluke down here. Yeah, good enough. Boy, that's an unmistakable feel. Yeah, I have not targeted them at all down here, but that was a surprise to feel that head shake. It's such a distinct head shake. Okay, I've moved out of the creek. Got enough water out on the flat now. Boom, right into fish. Ooh, nice. And I have gone back down to 1/8 of an ounce. I am casting over generally 1 to 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. I don't think I'm going to see 3 feet of water out here. Yeah, and this is a perfect setup where the sun's been shining on this water now for a few hours. It's real shallow, so it's warmed up faster than anything else, and the fish are definitely going to move in on this flat. So good timing, get out of the creek, get out of the flat, but got to use something really lightweight, because if you touch the bottom here, you're going to pick up weed. That's a beauty. Here we go. Oh, another nice one. Ooh. I guess that's going to be a redfish. Nice red. Add that to the species count, huh? Up we go in the boat. Okay, species number 7. Yeah, I haven't caught as many redfish this past winter. We suffered from red tide, and it definitely decreased the fishing in the sound. But yeah, so I was very happy to see this one. And yeah, this is, I'm going to actually have some quite good fishing out on this flat. I'm going to stay with this bucktail because it's working great. And we're going to get a look at the retrieve that I'm using over. You saw the retrieve I was using in the creek But this is 1 to 2 feet of water. So with that 1/8 ounce, as soon as it hits, start to retrieve, keep that rod tip high, just swim the jig up over the grass, and it catches. Oh, these are really nice. All right, so these are real quality speckled trout on this trip. When I read about trout fishing, even for this area, I keep seeing potholes, 3 to 5 feet of water. Whenever I fish those, yeah, I could probably catch 100 trout, but they're all small. The size, the better ones for me, always come over these shallow flats, or they come when I'm snook fishing up along the mangroves. But when I fish those potholes, I just seem to find schools and schools of little ones, but just real quality over these grass flats. All right, we're going to add you to the species count. Guys have been chomping on my gulps the whole time. These are the worst. These are the absolute freaking worst. Watch. Oh, those things cut the gulps like a pair of scissors. So I've switched over to a more durable trailer. It's a Tsunami tidal bait grub, and it's working just as well. That's the biggest one of the day. That. All right, so I'm at 8 species, but the one that's missing is snook. I mean, how can I catch 8 species here on a bucktail and not add a snook to that? So I've decided I'm going to go target a snook, and yeah, you just go in along the mangroves, pound those mangroves. And a nice thing about a bucktail is that it flies kind of consistently. Like some plugs will do that too. The spook, the rebel, will fly pretty consistently, but nothing is consistent as a bucktail. And when you're trying to pinpoint cast along the shore like that, that certainly helps. So yeah, I've just left that same 1/8 ounce jig with that Tsunami trailer, putting it right in those pockets. That's what I'm looking for. That's the snook. And there we go. All right, so I've got 9 species. Can I make it an even 10? Well, there's this rock pile, and so I'm thinking, well, you know, hey, maybe I can catch a grouper or something, or maybe a mangrove snapper even, but the thing is, I've never caught a grouper in this body of water, so yeah, I'm thinking my odds aren't great, but you know what? I'm going to make a couple of casts over this, see what happens. I don't know what I'm going to have here because that was hung. Oh, I've got species 10. I have got a grouper. Oh my God. Hey, just a little guy, but he counts. And yeah, it just, you know what, bucktails, they do literally catch anything that will strike an artificial, and this was good proof of that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, and check out my new bucktail course at saltstrong.com/Skinner.